the channel. I am a producer, multi-instrumentalist, worship leader, and sort of like the volunteer at our church, the Church of Spring Hill. Today, I'm giving a huge shout out to the Church of Spring Hill and the team there. We have been working hard on our Livestream mix, and I'm going to be showing you our Livestream mix. I've been doing these little like Livestream mix peaks, and this week is a little different. Because we've got a new team member, Tyler. Shout out to you, Tyler, out there. Tyler's also a talented multi-instrumentalist, producer, Logic kind of pro. The guy, Miker, he's like my brother. All right. Anyway, so Tyler was on the live stream this week for the first time, and when I got back to the studio today, I finally got to pull it up, and I just pulled up Logic and saw what he was doing. I was like, man, he was killing it. So today's a live stream mix critique, but it's also just me talking about how awesome I think this is. I can do that because I didn't do it totally myself, so I can brag on Tyler and the team, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I did get to lead worship this week, last minute kind of a thing, so I think one of our guys had to work. So I got out the electric guitar, I worked on my stuff, I did my little obsession of my own. I got the guitar tones where I wanted them, in practice. Maddie picked some really great songs this week. But I'm just really, other than we have this high hiss sound over our mix, and it's kind of all over this really high dog whistle that's been kind of coming over the sermon, and we're going to figure that out this week with Tyler. I'll make sure, but it's other than that, man, I'm telling you what, it's getting exciting. This week, we're moving our studio from the main sanctuary. I did a YouTube video on that. Moving our Logic Mix studio over to the other room this week. And so if nothing breaks and it all goes well, I'm just adjusting the volume here. If nothing breaks and it all goes well, this week we'll be in the other room, and we will have like an awesome thing going on. So we'll be able to hear. So this is us trying to mix the live stream mix in the room with the drums going on. And I talk a lot about that on the channel, but let's just listen, because there's a couple different parts. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff we did on the guitar. I'm just going to talk about the overall mix. Tyler was in there in the mix. He was messing with some stuff, and I knew he was messing with stuff, but then I'm kind of looking at it and okay, yeah, I see what's going on here and here, changing some EQ there. I've been kind of working on this template myself, and so it's kind of exciting to have another set of ears come in, especially one who's a producer type ear, and go, okay, let's tweak this, and I'm really I like it. I like what he's doing here. So I'm excited about continuing to work with Tyler and to build our team, which has been very hard in COVID, because we also, people just have stuff, and one of our team members took off a bit. So we're down a few, but we're also up a few. So what does that make us? Leave your chat as we go through this. Leave your chats. I love to hear what you guys say. What y'all think? I'm thinking, what y'all think? That's not the right comment. What y'all think? What y'all think about this? Let's listen to this first song, and then we're going to listen to a couple others. Here's what we got basically right now. Let's see. Cue to mix. Cue to mix. All right, I could just sit here and listen. I could just start worshiping right now. The song is really, I think, like Jess said, is going to be like it's a good song. It's a new song, and as far as I think Jess picked it. Good job, Jess. Good job. You yelled it. Anyway, listen to this. I think this is. I really like it's so easy to mix Maddie's voice. So that's easy to do. Her voice sits on any mix that I've ever mixed like perfection. Okay, so that you just put it up there and it sounds good. The drums are getting better. I like what Tyler did. It looks like he boosted up the drums, and I can feel them in the studio. I can feel that little bump in the drums. It feels really good, and I like that. And I like the snare. The snare could be a little poppy. We're having some problem with the snare. Let's listen to the snare and see what happens to the snare. Well, that's not a snare part. Let's get to the snare part. I don't know what happened to the snare this week. I don't know. It's kind of ploppity. It's okay. It's been sounding so good, and this week it just sounds different. I think it might be. I really think because our drummer this week used sticks, okay, instead of our like those hit sticks, which is totally fine. I think that the rest of the drum set sounded better. The snare sounds I think it actually sounds better with the hit sticks on the recording, but that's just, I think the deal is we're going to have to tune the drum snare to sticks as we transition into using more sticks. When you're using those hit stick things, those little brush type stick things, it feels like the drums, there's a little bit more snap on the snare. Right now we're hearing a little more snare body, which I think we'll just have to EQ that in the studio so that it sounds right in the studio. It doesn't sound totally right here to me, but in the mix it sounds fine. I'm just picking on it. Let's listen to the whole drum kit by itself. Only I'm going to go over to Glorious Day because that's more like a drummy song. Let's listen to the whole drum set by itself and see what happens on that. I'm just curious. But Tyler, yeah, he fixed the bass drum. That's got to be the best sounding bass drum on a live stream mix so far. Good job, Tyler. Yeah. Yeah. So look at the bass drum. He did something. He just cranked the heck out of the out of the 36 hertz, and then he probably compressed it. I know he probably might have changed the compressor. Yeah. Tyler, you're killing it. All right, so that's a good drum sound. That's a good bass drum sound. Plus, we moved the bass drum. We moved the bass drum outside of the bass drum. It was kind of in there. Oh yeah. I mean, the toms sound good too. What? Oh my gosh. So, I've been working on this. I'm so glad we got a second set of ears on this, especially just some of these little things are sounding so good to me. So let's listen to that. We'll throw the guitar in there too, because I was playing electric guitar. Let's see what I was doing. Was I scratching around? Throw the bass in. Yeah, I like this. Let's go ahead and bring in the whole band. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. There you go. They called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. I'm just going to be in here jamming. Now your mercy is all. I was messing. This is rehearsal. Save my soul. Yeah, I was rehearsal. Now your freedom is all that I know. Those toms are coming through, man. This mix is good, dude. Jesus, when I met you, you could turn down the electric. I did. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave. Now, I like the electric high. I like it hot there. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. Now this guitar tone, let's look at the guitar tone. That's the EQ we have on the guitar tone. Look, I'm going to talk about my guitar tone today. Tomorrow, when I go to the church, I'm going to show you that pedal board. So if you're on my channel and you're like, dude, I want to know what that is. I want to know what that is. Then I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. And let me make sure I'm on. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. I'm going to show you that pedal board. It is going through a Blues Junior, which I love that amp, but it's mostly, what is that? An Ibanez tube screamer and a bunch of reverb and some delay and stuff like that. It's not, it's not like a pedal board thing. It's not a lot of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's not a pod. It's not a fractal. It's not any of that other stuff. Dude, it's old school. It's an amp and some pedal. I think it sounds pretty good, and I can just kind of tweak it. I would like it to be a little more overdriven. I'm using a Fender Strat with single coils. I've got a single double humbucker, a single coil size humbucker. I was able to dial in. Actually, I'm pretty happy with this. And in the mix, it sits very nice. It actually fills it up. Now, I'm playing as the only electric player. Actually, I'm playing two electric parts. I'm playing the rhythm and the lead. So I'm kind of back and forth. So my tone has to be sort of it has to fill and it has to cut. So it has to kind of be, and it also blend. So I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, probably in a video or the end of this week. But the guitar tone is good. I like this. I'm pretty happy with where it is. I spent quite a bit of time this week just working on my pedal at the church, and I'll talk about that. I listen to it through the mains. I stand out into the room and listen to it, and I do to my pedal, and I tweaked my volume and tone knobs just enough to cut off the edge. Because what happens in our room is if you get too much of that electric guitar bite edge on the top, it's hard to mix, and it just sounds so So I had to get that out of my tone by rolling off and like marking exactly where my tone knob going to be, so it was cutting enough, but not to where my pastor is going to be like, oh, that's so loud. So listen to how it sits in there with the drums. Actually, that's... Now you see, this is the guitar without any reverb in the Logic mix. It just sounds like this. Let's see what it sounds like in the room. Oh, maybe he didn't. Maybe the room's not recorded. I don't think the room's recorded on this set here. Let's see. Yeah, just on this one, the room's not recorded, but here we go. We'll add the reverb. What? That sounds much better. Here we go. All to this here. Drums and cymbals. Yeah, the snare is the weak point on this mix. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix it this week. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's good. Okay, let's throw the acoustic in there and the rest of the band in there. Let's see what happens. If you hold, I think if you hold option down, you can unmute everything. I think right there. The darkness into your glorious day. You called my name, and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day. You called my name. All right, so. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's pretty good. I need to work on my vocal mic a bit. It's okay. It cuts too much, maybe. It's also just me picking on myself. I don't like to hear myself sing. Who likes to hear themselves sing anyway? I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody does. But I'd rather listen to Maddie sing, honestly, to be honest with you. So let's listen to this song again. Also, I'll just take a note for you guys if you're in my team or if you're listening to this. If you're still listening to this, this is me just listening. I like the way the guitar washes over this mix. I like that it speaks when it speaks, that it washes when it washes. That's just the way I'm playing guitar. That's fine. It's just one guitar. but I like the way the foundation is in the drums. I like the way the bass is sitting in there. I like everything in this in this mix. What you're going to hear right here. Listen to this. All right, so I'm sorry, guys. I could just listen to that all day. Honestly, I could just sit here and jam to this and listen to the tones. I think this is part of the good thing. I'm going to be uploading a template. I have not uploaded a template yet, but I'm going to include this week. I'm going to also include some last week that we did, and I still have to talk about Derek's mic. We did a really cool thing with Derek's mic last month, and we just listened to his mic. I've got so much to do that I'm freaking out. I got so much to say about what we're doing here, and I'm trying my best to chronicle this. But each week is very hard. We go through. We have different things. We do different things. It's just very interesting. I've got so much other footage as we go through this that if you have any questions, leave them in the chat. So I will address them. Mostly, though, you're listening and watching how we are evolving into this template. So this is the template that I did for Logic. This is the template that I built. I built this for our team very simply, and it's. I'm going to put this up in the next week or so. I have a very older, simple template that I put up there already, but this is our Logic template now. And now that Tyler's got his producer Paul's on this thing, it's starting to really come out, and I think that it's going to get even better as we move into out of the sanctuary into the studio room. And I'm not sure it's going to get better. I mean, I listened to this and I'm really happy. So this week I'm really happy about the overall tone of like the drums, other than the snare, and just some of the stuff that's going. Every week we're changing. Every week we're tweaking. But this appeared to me to be an extremely good step forward for our team. Just having some new guys. We got a couple new guys. One on front of house, Mark, and we've got one on Livestream helping produce. But this week we're gonna have to reset the drums. We're getting some new mics, stuff like that. So it's gonna be different. This coming week is gonna be different. So I'm glad that I have this moment in time to share this with you guys and to show you where we're at, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. Let me see if we even have the pads. I'm not even sure the pads are even in this. So all of that, and I'm not even sure the pads are even in this. Let me see. Yeah, they're in there. Okay, so you got it. All right, so I'm going to make one more note on this. On Livestream, my vocals were a little loud on this part, on the actual thing. And our Livestream really broke this week. So we only have just a little piece of this week on the Livestream, in the actual sermon in the Livestream. We had the whole sermon, but the Livestream computer connection was coming off. Oh my goodness. It kept coming out and the Livestream would drop. So we just got truncated versions of this service for the actual live stream, which is fine because we did get the whole sermon, which I think is the most important part of having the live stream archive. So thank goodness we did get the sermon. But we have, in my vocals were a little I don't know, like harsh, a little bit loud on one of the songs, or it's just me listening to myself going, ah, ah. You know, I don't hear myself. When I get in the mix like this, underneath of Maddie's lead vocal, when I'm under there right, I think it sounds right on awesome. But if I'm too loud or if I'm up there and it's too bright, it sounds to me grating because it's me, number one. Number two, anytime you're mixing a background vocalist on the stream or whatever for my team or anybody out there, the lead vocalist should be on the very pinnacle top of the mix, right in line with the snare as I've many times, but then the backup vocals should be tucked underneath like a little pillow. Just right there. That's it. The background vocals should be very faint and very sonically holding up the lead vocal or mixing into that. And that's where I think they are right here. So if you want to hear what I think about that, where it is, this is where it is. And I'll show you, I'll mix it around a little bit and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Right here, we'll go for it. Here's the vocal, background vocals. Let's wait for it. Right here's the fader. You can watch me do this right here. Okay, you hear that? Right, that is right. The background vocal, like a little pillow right underneath. And you can feel it and hear it and accept it. But it's not like, oh, what's happening there? That is something I think I'm going to make a separate video after this about just that mix. That is extremely important. It's also important that your lead vocals aren't too high over the mix. So guys, on my team, think about that in the mix, in the production of this tone. The background vocals, however it is, should feel like they're there. Should emotionally pull us there. We should feel them emotionally. Feel them and hear them, not specifically. All right. So that's something that I think is very important. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to start another stream that is just specifically about background vocals, just because in my training sessions, I upload these videos to my team in specific blocks. And in that, you can actually see, if you go, let's see, where did I put that? Go to the website, worshiptheking.com. If you like what I'm doing, just make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the video. You can actually follow along quite awesomely. You can follow along at Livestream Audio Mix. You can go to worshiptheking.com. Some of this stuff, a lot of this is like on YouTube, but this is a lot of what I put in for my team. You can get this one, it looks like, is probably free, I suppose, on the site. I'm guessing it's free. But then the Audio Foundations is also one that you can get that you can actually enroll your team into to get live stream training. You could do all of that right here. But right now, as I'm working with my team, as you can see specifically on our mix, you can actually, some of the training that I'm doing with my guys right there on worshiptheking.com. I will see you guys on the next video. I'm excited to talk about the background vocal